today Rami and I are going to be talking about something a little bit, I guess, more serious note, um, or just something a lot of people have questions about or ask, and that is how do blind or low vision people look at their computer screens or phone screens or TV screens? So we're going to get right into it and share our experiences and share how we use our technology.
Yeah, this is definitely a question that a lot of people have because we've talked about in past videos the spectrum of blindness or low vision or vision loss or however you self-identify. And that spectrum comes with how we use our technology. And the questions are valid because we all have varying experiences on how we use our technology. You and I, as we've also said in the past, have a lot of similar tendencies or similar preferences, but even you and I differ on some things that we use, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because for one thing, like for viewers that are watching this video right now, you can see I'm actually wearing glasses right now, and this is something recent for me versus uh Ramya doesn't wear glasses.
Yeah. Rami has been avoiding glasses for a really long time, but that's a whole different tangent. So but it's true. You use glasses. You also use an actual physical magnifying glass when you're looking at your screens. I hope I didn't out you on that.
No, it's okay. I broke up magnifying glass and my family, everyone's sick and tired of it, want me to get a new one.
Followed her around for like a decade. It really needs a
Guys, it's so
replacement.
here. I'm gonna look. This is my magnifying glass. Okay.
Oh my God, no shame. No shame at all.
Nope. Nope. I know I need to get a new one from the CNIB, but one day eventually, right? That's a pandemic, so yeah. But I use this normally when I'm at home to look at my phone, if I want to look at pictures or sometimes read like WhatsApp messages or emails. So it just depends, but it's something that I don't know, I'm just so used to having now, just as a comfort thing, I guess, in a way, because so I'm not straining my eyes so much. And I prefer to use my vision more than use voiceover.
Yeah, so like you use vision enhancements, things like zoom and invert colors or dark mode, as a lot of people might know it now, where basically you have lighter fonts and lighter foreground and a darker background, so it's less strain on your eyes. And me, I use a bit of that too, to be honest. I use a combination of what you're talking about, Sarah, which is the zoom, the magnifying, making my fonts gigantic, using a lot of high contrast, reverse contrast, and a lot of these things might be overwhelming for anybody who has zero idea of what these things are. But if you go into accessibility on your smartphone, whether it be an Android device or an Apple device, or Windows on your PCs or even Mac computers, there are a ton of things under accessibility, and that's not limited to vision accessibility. By the way, there's hearing accessibility, tactile or I'm losing the word right now, but
Dexterity.
there you go for dexterity deficiency. There's a lot of accessibility enhancements there, but also with the low vision side of things, I like to use what I call vision substitution. I'm not sure if that's a formal thing, but I use it, and it's a screen reader. So if you see me with my earphones in my ear, that's because I use a screen reader along with looking visually at my screen because I like to have the visual stimulation. And Sarah, I'm pretty sure you shout out that too. But along with that, I like to make my reading a bit easier on screen. So if text messages, emails, giant paragraphs, book reports, whatever it is with large amounts of text, I'd like to use a vision substitution, which is a screen reader. The combination, going back to like being able to have your text speak out loud, and at the same time be using other things to enhance what you're seeing on screens, is kind of something that a lot of people use. It may be new if you've never heard of that approach, but or don't have a low vision or blind person in your life, but it is something that a lot of us in the community use, especially if we're starting to lose vision or if vision is changing for us. As you mentioned, Sarah, your vision was changing. You started to now wear glasses in different scenarios, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I think one way to explain, I like to explain to it when you talk about like reverse contrast and things like that. It's like chalkboard style. That's like this way I explain to people that I like to, it's easier for low vision individuals or people like me to see things in reverse contrast, which means chalkboards as a black background, white writing. I don't know why, but it just, when it's the quote unquote default way, I don't know about you, Rami, but everything just looks blurry. Like I just can't
Yeah.
make out anything.
I can't even see the text on a white piece of paper anymore. I don't know if it's because I've just lost practice in it, but I used to be able to see it. Then I started to invert my colors in the chalkboard style reverse contrast dark mode thing, and now I genuinely can barely see text on paper anymore. But you know what? Like, this is just our experience, and I want to put it out there that there are people who are low vision, who identify as low vision, and sometimes even legally blind, who love their pieces of paper still, and they prefer that over screens for reading and things like that. I have a friend who has albinism, and he honestly just prefers having a font 36 size font on a white piece of paper in bold writing, versus being able to look on screens and do his work that way.
I am not an iPhone user. I still have an Android user. And the reason why is that, like I said before, I tend to use other adaptive features on the Android, like magnification, reverse contrast, enlarging my fonts, customizing all my apps. And I do have the talkback feature whenever I need to use it or turn it on. I do use it, but I know a lot of individual like Ramya, has switched over from Android to iPhone because of accessibility. And Rami, you use voiceover more than magnification on your
Hmm.
phone, or is it a bit of both?
For sure. Oh no, definitely. Like, I still love the visual stimulation, knowing where my apps are on the screen, how many messages I'm looking at. I can tell that symbol of a read or an unread message. That's all cool. But when it comes to text, I barely bother anymore to try to make out text, and it just takes a long time for me, and I prefer to get things done quite quickly compared to what I used to take, like the amount of time I used to take to read a text message. I'm like, yo, you know what? I don't have time in the day for this anymore. So I'm gonna I'm
Voiceover
gonna start
alert.
using voiceover much
Important.
more often. But really, like you, Sarah, I do turn it off sometimes, and I do flick through things without voiceover, because I've learned different apps, and I know that sometimes it's more efficient not to have voiceover on. But again, on a very basic level, people use a lot of combination when it comes to looking at screens, when it comes to experiencing screens, is how I like to call it, because sometimes you're not looking at screens, but you're still experiencing them, right?
For both of us is just even having, or I guess, the way, I guess, even when I was taught in school, is like just having your physical appearance or demeanor, even if you can't see the screen, to face and look at the screen, even if you are using fully voiceover. So it's just that having that posture, having that physical appearance as if you are um using and seeing your screen, whether it be your phone or your laptop or whatnot. It's just better for you overall, because a lot of blind people, like totally blind, that use voiceover, they have their laptops or the phone like completely
Black.
curtained black.
Yes. And it's true that you point out posture, because again, that's a whole different conversation, but really it plays a role to have some kind of physicality that comes with experiencing screens. And the visual stimulation is a plus for a lot of us now, who have low vision and who grew up with it. We're like, I want to be able to see my screen still. So I'm going to use some of these extra bits to help me out. But definitely, like, if you're slouching, which a lot of us do, we forget being blind or low vision or sighted. A lot of us are slouching like so much more than we need to anyways. It's not healthy. But in on top of that, to say like, I can't see my screen, so I'm just gonna sit however I want. Yeah, I think we're opening up a can of worms here for sure. But it's
For
a
sure.
thing we've noticed. A posture
And
thing
I
is
will
something
say,
we
just for the
notice.
viewers, yeah, like just for our viewers out there, if you've been watching mine and Ramya's videos, you'll notice like us looking at the screen, but sometimes because of our involuntary eye movement, because we're trying to focus, our eyes will shake or move around, or sometimes we blink more because we're using a lot of bright light, which we are sensitive to.
Uh-huh.
Um, I might think I'm centered in the screen and looking straight, but maybe that's not the case, especially ever since my accident. I'm like literally half of the time sitting tilted. So these are all little things that sometimes we're noticed, sometimes not, sometimes people let us know about.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we can't be so like at this point, I can't be so cautious or so like perfectionist when it comes to things. Because if anybody does know, I am a perfectionist, and if I could, I would try to have everything to the T. But I kind of have given up on that, and I just want to be able to, make these videos. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care how I look. If I look tilted, then too bad, too sad.
See, so much confessionals going on in today's video, especially the whole are you centered, are you not centered thing. Because what she didn't tell you is we spent 10 minutes before this trying to center her. So that's always fun, getting a behind the scenes.
Yeah, the two blind people try to teach each other, like tell each
Yeah,
other if we're centered or not,
it's
and if we
fun.
look.
It's so fun. But anyway, thank you so much for the convo, Sarah. As always, I appreciate being on here and being able to like talk
No
about
problem.
a lot of
Thank
these
you.
experiences.
It's always nice having you on, and I think we have really good conversations. So yeah, until next week, stay tuned. We have lots more coming ahead. Hit that notification bell to make sure that you will get notified the next time I drop a video.